we the Arcturians are so very proud of all of the humans that have assisted others, helped others, cared for others, saved others, and the courage that they have had to move through these terrifying moments. So we, the Arcturians, would like to say to all of you, the humans are showing so much courage and doing the very best that they could do. We, the Arcturians, wish to say to each and every one of you that you are a very brave, courageous human. And on some level, you have chosen to have an incarnation during this very, very difficult time. And the reason why you chose is like the very same reason that the many humans have chosen to protect and to care for. And so we, the Arcturians, are sending you love and light for the many, many challenges that you have had to move through, are moving through, and most likely will continue to move through.
Arcturians, it seems like when we move into the higher frequencies, these unravelings are a natural part of that process. Very painful and very uncomfortable, but it is all going somewhere. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Moving into the next dimension means that one needs to be able to face the dimension that they are in within this now. It is a process. This also has to do with Gaia, the planet. With the negative forces, they have not ever wanted to take care of the planet or take care of others or take care of anything except themselves. And so there is this time coming up where there will be those who will be moving into this higher frequency. Now, yes, we have said this many times. It's sooner because the darkest night is just before dawn. There's been some really, really dark nights and some amazingly courageous people and doing what they need to do to the best that they can do it. Would you like to speak to that now, please?
Yes. It's a reminder, that message was a reminder to me that there is more than what meets the eye in every situation, every unraveling. Anything that we see happening in the physical has an energetic tie that we don't see that's in the subtle realms. So what you were talking about, Arcturians, there about moving into this fourth dimension, fifth dimension, up into these other frequencies, it's a collective and a personal call to up-level our energy. And the reason why we need to do that is for the planet we live on and for the people who really need those higher frequencies too.
Yes, and simultaneously to that, there will be more sightings, more and more sightings, and we have seen that already. There's lots of information out there about what appears to be happening. Would you like to speak to that, please?
These cosmic energies are naturally part of the earth too, and these beings, these high frequency energies are more and more manifesting on the planet, especially in these really challenging times. So I feel like, yes, there's a lot of support that we can tap into in the consciousness fields, and I mean, who knows, there might even need to be some physical support to that too, depending on where things go. It reminds me of how many sightings there were during World War II around all of the missile and nuclear testing sites. I feel like that galactic presence is very, very close.
Yes, because now we're having the few trying to take over the many. And they are taking over. They're not taking care of or assisting or helping or guiding. That's clearly not their intention. Their intention is to take over. And that leaves so many third dimensionals having so many decisions, such as, do we want to go underground? Do we want to try to leave the city? Do we want to live out in the country? There are so many decisions that humans are having to make. Decisions that could be life and death decisions. So we, the Arcturians, we are here. We are here with you. We are here to assist you to remember that wonderful courage that you have and that you have shown. And we, the Arcturians, amongst the Palladians, Minotaurians, and the Venusians, all of our galactic family, we will not allow the third dimensionals to destroy this beautiful planet of Gaia. And we talk about this every time, but it is important to always remember this and to not forget it. The Galactics are saying, we agree. We agree that you do not deserve this. And we will be showing ourselves more and more. There are many fifth dimensionals and many fifth dimensional ships, but they're at a very high frequency of light. And only those who are really able to believe that it's possible will be able to perceive it. Eventually, more and more people will be able to perceive it. But right now, everyone is so terrified just for their lives and for their families and for anything else. They're all on like 100% for survival mode. And that is something that actually is really making them strong, because they were put into this terrifying, long-lasting, terrible experience, and they survived. They did what they needed to do, and they won't realize yet how massively courageous they have been, because right now they're just surviving. They're just surviving. and surviving for themselves, surviving for their loved ones, surviving for their towns, surviving for all the things that they've pulled together in their lifetime. A lot of people are losing everything, absolutely everything. And so we, the Galactics, wish to say that we are with you. We are with you. And remember that there are many different frequencies of reality. And what is partially occurring, do we say partially, or beginning to, is that the frequency of the third dimension, it's time for it to step up. It's time to step up beyond that third dimension, because the third dimension does not have the ability to see what is beyond their third dimension. But a lot of the things that people have been going through, they have found that, wow, I survived. I didn't fall apart. I survived. I did it. And I did the best that I could do. What we, the Arcturians, say is the best you can do within that now is wonderful. And you don't ever, ever, ever want to diminish the best that you can do, because that is the stepping stone. If you do the best that you could do, and maybe it's not as good as you think somebody else did or as you think that you should do, don't go there. Go to the place inside yourself that I am doing the best that I can do. And when you were doing the best that you could do, what will begin to happen is that you'll straighten up your back and pull back your shoulders and feel strong. And this is a horrible, unimaginable, terrible situation. But I am doing the best I could do. And I'm not going to chastise myself that I can't do more, because I am doing the best I could do.
These events are in many ways holding up a mirror to us as humans. And that mirror is showing a different vibration than what has been shown before with war. We could go back to World War II, we could go back to World War I, all those things. And this time around, the majority of people, the vast majority of people on the planet are a no. They do not want the war. They do not want the conflict. It is a very, very, very small minority that is causing these problems. So when we're talking about, the 51%, whatever it is, we're there. We all agree with this mirror held up, because this is our past. And now we're having that mirror shown up again to say, this is the vibration that you've been creating. As a whole, do you want to keep doing this? And that resounding answer is a no.
Yes. War was an addiction, or is an addiction. It's an addiction to the regular people, thinking that they weren't good enough. And so they looked to other people instead of to themselves. Actually, what we'd like to say right now is that this is no longer just a third-dimensional planet. This planet has a lot more resonance to the fourth and fifth dimensions than it's ever had. And that might seem unusual because all the horrible things that have been happening. But all of those horrible things have been hiding in the corners, waiting for their time to take over. But what has happened instead is that they couldn't hide. They were in situations that they couldn't hide. And so the ones that wanted to hide and do selfish, mean, uncaring things, everybody else was busy surviving. But they weren't busy surviving by hurting others. They were busy surviving by gathering together and helping each other. You know, the darkest night is just before dawn. And we have really had the darkest night. This has really been the darkest night. So how do you feel about that dawning?
I feel like this brings it full circle. And as soon as you said the dawn, the first thing I thought about was the dawn emerging from within. Not just from within ourselves, but also from the core of the planet. Like you were saying, Arcturians and Sue, there's a lot more frequencies that this planet is holding. And those frequencies are very beneficial for healing on multidimensional levels. So this is the time for us to connect to the magnificent, amazing beings that we are, to bring that energy forth and to interface it with the energy of the planet. That is one of the best ways that we can assist with this unraveling process, how we can bring in that dawn collectively and also personally. It has to do with the core. So I'll leave that to you to wrap us up with that core emphasis.
Everybody has a core. Every human has a core. And different humans have different kinds of core because they're different kinds of humans. But when we're talking about the planet, that's just one planet, and it has one core. And there is a core inside of the planet. And there is a reality inside of the planet. Those that are on the outside can feel, and their core is saying, this looks like an ending, but every beginning has to have an ending. The ending part is usually not too great, but there are ending parts that are good. Oh, I'm so glad to get out of that. You know, let's go on to the next one. But what really takes the courage is that you let go and you move on to the next without even knowing for sure if it is where you're going to go. Everybody, they are just doing what they need to do. And wow, this is really powerful. We, the Arcturians, are so proud of you, the third dimensionals. You have showed to others and to yourself that you are one. You are one. People are taking care of each other. And that bravery is the core of the calmness. This is something that they all have to come together with, because it's too big for any one person. It's too big for any group. It's something that Gaia, the planet herself, is saying. And what she is saying, dear humans, I am so proud of you now, because I have been saying to the awakened ones for a very long time that I, Gaia, wish to be able to have a more intimate communication with the third dimensional humans. We, the humans on Earth, are starting to expand our consciousness. And when our consciousness is up to the fourth and fifth dimensions, that's when the landings will begin.